Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the PS2 makes me sexually aroused.
You have not lived life if you haven't played Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on PS2. Like it's the greatest game of all time, objectively.
Oh yeah, that game. Yes. Ah, man, the graphics were incredible for their times. Oh, I gotta say. What I also loved about it was the fact that we were in a chocolate factory. Yeah, that was a very good game. It was super fun.
You haven't played Chocolate Factory.
When I get my takeaway nights with my family every Friday, and I pick up my KFC, and I get struck by the sultans of Salmonella themselves, my bathroom becomes a chocolate factory.
Thank you for that.
Honestly, that I must agree. I remember when Rufus would play Chocolate Factory. It was super fun.
The gods would bless me with a piece of undercooked chicken.
And
on top of that, it was unseasoned like my skin.
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on PS2 was like a gift from God. No.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the PS2 fucking sucks. Hey y'all, Mikey here. Welcome back to another episode of Mikey's Reviews, where I review and tell you my thoughts. Hope everyone's doing well today. Now, we all know Willy Wonka, right? Everyone and their grandpa knows who Willy Wonka is, for better or for worse. But that's besides the point. Do you guys remember watching the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie? No, wait, that's not the right movie. Though this one is still a nice movie to watch. But I'm talking about the, no, this is the Timothée Chalamet one. I'm talking about the 2005 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film starring Johnny Depp. Now, before I continue, I am not even going to try and debate which film is better. Whatever you guys prefer, I don't care, honestly. Though, as a kid, I do remember watching this specific film a lot. Heck, I actually might even do a video on it someday. But with that being said, would you believe me if I told you that there was actually a video game regarding of the Johnny Depp film? If you said no, then, I don't blame you. Today we're going to be talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the PlayStation 2. With the game being released 5 days after the film, I'm sure they didn't rush the game or anything, right? Much like any other movie licensed tie-in video game, the plot of the game is basically the plot of the film. You play as Charlie Bucket, the broke little boy with no money for chocolate, but it just so happens by some fucking coincidence that a $10 bill decides to lead you on a chase throughout the town. You even end up falling off this building trying to grab the money. What do you mean, oh no? Just grab the money, goddammit! And now you're sliding down the road with a bunch of garbage cans. Doesn't this look familiar? There aren't any garbage trucks to take the garbage cans, but there's a lot of Wonka trucks. Eventually, you catch the money outside the candy shop, and Charlie goes to buy the Wonka bar, and what do you know? A golden ticket. Throughout the game, you have the narrator, just like in the movie, but unlike the movie, he constantly sounds like he has something stuck in his mouth.
Charlie carried the ticket home to show his family as quick as his little legs could carry him.
Either that, or they just hire different voice actors, right? Well, no, actually. They got every actor from the film to voice act for the game, like Freddie Highmore as Charlie Bucket and Johnny Depp as Wonka. Wait a minute, hold on.
Allow 5 children to visit my factory. 5 golden tickets have been hidden beneath the wrappers of 5 ordinary Wonka bars.
That's not Johnny Depp, that's... Oh my god, I can't unhear it now! That's James Arnold Taylor! It's Titus from Final Fantasy! Anyways, we move on to Chapter 1, the Wonka Factory. Charlie gets the golden ticket and then he's just in. No waiting behind the gates, no Willy Wonka song from the puppets that get burned alive.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so what do you do now that you're in this awesome, one-of-a-kind factory? Do you eat any candy?
No.
Do you go on a quick tour with Willy Wonka and Grandpa Joe?
No!
Do you do a bunch of nonsensical tasks to get Augustus Gloop's fat ass out of the chocolate pipe?
Yes!
But why is it my job to get his ass unstuck? Oh, and by the way, Willy Wonka and Grandpa Joe and the rest of the gang, they go on the remainder of the tour. We literally never see them in the game, except for Willy Wonka on rare occasions, and Grandpa Joe as the tutorial guy. Also, another thing, aside from Grandpa Joe, where are the other kids' parents? Did they drop them off or something? They're just not here. So what do you gotta do to help Augustus Chungus over here? Well, the Oompa Loompas are there to help you, and when you see them in the first cutscene, they're fast as shit. But then they're just slow and retarded. You're supposed to give them commands like follow me or work on this, but most of the time they just either get stuck on a wall or they start running in circles like idiots. And you need these non-singing little fuckers to do pretty much everything in the game. Yeah, that's right. They do not sing their little Oompa Loompa songs when any of the kids succumb to their fate by Willy Wonka's chocolate traps. You gotta get 2 Oompa Loompas to jump on these... I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be, and the game never explains it, so why should I care? Actually, the game doesn't explain jack shit! Every single word that comes out of Willy Wonka's mouth is just some tongue twister bullshit. So the Oompa Loompas jump on those buttons, and that somehow shoots Augustus up the pipe. Then after that, Wonka just tells you, hey, there's these things called Wonkavites in the trees, and you get them by throwing everlasting gobstoppers at them. Pretty cool, huh? And you're just like... sure, I guess? I don't know what they do, though. So you get one, and then what do you do? Well, you would do what I did. That being walking around aimlessly looking for a door, or something. Anything to progress in the game. Well, it turns out that you're supposed to keep on catching these Wonkavites, which is a pain in the ass, by the way, because they never stop jumping. After like 10 of them, you open a door and progress to the next level, but no one ever told me that. So how the hell was I supposed to know that? So now you can go through the next door, where lo and behold, Augustus is still stuck in the goddamn pipe, and it's your job to get him out. How are you gonna do it this time? Well, by throwing slime at Wonkabots and turning them into slime balls and then throwing them into the injectors, and that somehow powers the pipe? You know, just like in the movie. Oh yeah, that's right. That never fucking happened! So you just do whatever the fuck that was and do that again. And again. Gold star for me. Chapter 3, Wonkabot Trouble. What happened in Chapter 2? I don't know. The game never shows anything about the second chapter. They just skipped it. Either way, now we gotta deal with the next kid's problem. What the fuck happened to Mike's design? Oh my god. Anyways, he decides to rewire the robots, and I guess now they're hostile or something. Who the fuck knows, and who the fuck cares? Now you're in a whole new level, but oh yeah, you still gotta help Augustus Gloop with that fucking pipe of shit. Then you have to move all these cannons that shoot balls out of them into this big hole in order to open a door that has 10 Wonkabots trying to kill you. Now, I really want to drive this point home. In every single area of the chocolate factory, there's either broken components that require you to have the Oompa Loompas fix it, or to progress, you need to complete some kind of enigma-riddled task that will literally give you a headache, all just to open a goddamn door. Or even more of this bullshit that lies beyond. It's really no wonder that no one has come in or out of the chocolate factory since Grandpa Joe worked there. This place is a fucking hazard. And that golden ticket was a bigger scam than the Wonka experience. I literally just won a chance at fixing a factory the size of a small city, and I'm doing it all for free. Okay, so you killed the robots, and now you're on to the next level, which is right back at the starting level. There's some really great scenery here. So what task does Mr. Wonka have in store for us this time? A bunch of boxes that we gotta fill up with candy. And by having the Oompa Loompas cut down the trees, grab the candy, and then drop it in the box. At first, it seems easy enough. I thought so too, until you realize how badly the Oompa Loompas are programmed. So you fill up all those boxes, and then you get a piece of bubblegum that you could blow up under your ass. Now you gotta use that bubblegum ass ball to climb up the building to turn the chocolate fountain back on. And Augustus Gloop finally comes flying out of the pipe.
The pipes! No, he's back in the river.
And there it goes, wasted effort. Just like that.
Fuck!
Now, instead of riding that awesome boat down the chocolate river, the boat literally moves for like one shot in a cutscene and then you're loaded into the next stage. Why not turn that boat scene into its own little mini game? I don't know, I guess the developers didn't want us to have too much fun. So now you gotta go to the room where the gum is made. You know, that gum that makes Violet turn into a blueberry. Okay, so we gotta fix that problem now, right? No! You actually have to make the sheep in the room follow you so that you can make cotton candy out of them. Yeah, because that is somehow the mechanism used to open the next door. And again, it's just like the movie. Right? You see where I'm going with this? Now you have to go through like 4 levels of the same thing. Keep on getting the Oompa Loompas to repair broken shit so that you can open the next door. Finally, you make it to the juicing room, and you have to physically push Violet into the juicer. And that seemingly simple task took me 10 minutes. And that's also 10 minutes of my life I'm never gonna get back. Why do I torture myself with this bullshit? Alright, now we're in Chapter 5. What happened to Chapter 4?
That is an excellent question.
This time, we gotta save Veruca's salt after the squirrels throw her down the garbage chute. So you gotta make your way towards the back of this nut factory, and then you gotta use your rock candy to turn into a ball, hit this big tree, and knock the squirrels down to the floor. Then you gotta resort to animal abuse and knock them unconscious, then have the Oompa Loompas put them into a box. But you see, there's one big problem with this whole situation. These are the deadliest fucking squirrels to ever be conceived by mankind. If they somehow jump on you, they start ravaging your body, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to wait until they're done biting you to death. So while you're trying to do all this bullshit, you gotta evade the squirrel's attack or you're dead. Okay, so you put 10 squirrels in the box. Now you gotta do this all over again on the other side of the factory, but with 15 squirrels. After that, everything is back in order, at least in this part of the factory. Now you gotta save Veruca from the garbage chute. After saving her, you get to the second to worst stage in the entire game, the fizzy lifting room. In this stage, nobody tells you what to do. You just have to keep hitting these platforms and hope you jump at the right time to get onto the next platform. That way you can command the Oompa Loompas to follow you. But then how the hell did they get up there in the first place? After that, Willy Wonka finally gives you the fizzy lifting drinks that allows you to fly. Now this all sounds cool, but God damn, the controls are utter fucking shit! You can only descend, so if you want to get to somewhere pretty high, which is usually what you have to do, you have to wait like 5 seconds or more to have Charlie float up there. And there's times when the fizz just stops working and then you plummet to the ground. Now you gotta pick up the Oompa Loompas, fly them to the next room, keep going back and forth, just fixing shit. Like we haven't done that enough. And then there's more squirrels that you have to put into boxes. 15 squirrels later, and you get to this room. I already forget what it's called. But you have to kill more Wonka bots, and then you gotta get to the next room by avoiding this rainbow toxin. And the whole concept isn't a bad idea if it wasn't for the fucking hitboxes being dog shit. This rainbow shit can hit you from a mile away. This entire room is a fucking nightmare. You literally have to transport like 10 Oompa Loompas all to different spots. The robots are trying to kill you, and you have no fucking clue as to what you're supposed to do. But whatever it is, you gotta do it again on the other side. Do that, and the door opens. What do you get after all that hard work, though? A fucking button to the glass elevator. Gee whiz, thank you, Mr. Wonka. How about a different form of fucking currency that would actually help Charlie feed his family? You know, so they don't have to eat cabbage soup for the rest of their lives? Okay, now we're on to Chapter 6, Mike TV. Now this. Oh my god, this is actually the worst stage in the entire game. This is one of the most godforsaken, heart-wrenching, diabolical series of nonsensical piles of shit this game has to offer. And I'm gonna explain why. Okay, so in this chapter, Willy Wonka makes another fucking invention that allows him to send chocolate through television. And Mike over here thinks it's a teleporter, so he goes in and now he's stuck. And you guessed it, it's my job to get his ass out. First of all, this TV room is so fucking poorly designed. I get that in the movie, it's also purely white, but in here, the graphics are so bad that there isn't even one shadow. I couldn't tell where I was going half the time. It's so fucking bright. It's as bad as Sonic Colors Ultimate. While I'm at it, the room is also really small as well. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do, but it turns out that you had to go into the teleporter and use the fizzy lifting drink to float yourself up. So why the fuck is it a teleporter if the bitch can't even teleport? Okay, so you go up the tube and now the shit show really begins.
You have to get Wonkavite yet again from killing robots by essentially spin dashing at them with your crystal ball move. Aiming with this thing is also shit, might I add. After they drop the Wonkavite, you have to get the Oompa Loompas to throw the Wonkavite into this rainbow light in the middle. Now the first time is moderately easy. You just need 3 Wonkavite and there's only 1 robot spawner and 1 Oompa Loompa. The second time you need 4 Wonkavites and there's 2 robot spawners, but it isn't as worse as the third time. The third time you need 5 Wonkavites and there's 3 robot spawners. But don't let that fool you because now they can spawn more than 1 robot and 1 spawner. And I thought it was gonna be easy because they give you like 5 Oompa Loompas, but once again, I forgot how fucking stupid these shitwads are. You kill a robot, command an Oompa Loompa to get the Wonkavite, but then another robot grabs the Oompa Loompa that has the Wonkavite, so you kill that robot, the Wonkavite vanishes, and then you kill another robot and oh my god, enough! Why can't Charlie just grab the fucking Wonkavite and put it in the rainbow circle himself? Charlie, for fuck's sake, you have hands! By the grace of God, I somehow managed to complete this steaming pile of goat shit of a level, and then I made it back to the blinding TV room where I had to kill 30 more robots, and then finally rescue Mike. And that was the last level, too. Anyways, now we finally get to the glass elevator with Willy Wonka, and we fly into the sky. Who knows what happened to Grandpa Joe? Then we're told that Willy Wonka is going to give us the chocolate factory. But maybe I don't want this shitty factory. I mean, the amount of things that needs to be ran precisely for this crap to work is outrageous. And that's also how the game ends too. They're up in the sky in the glass elevator, it fades to black, and then the credits roll. I have nothing else to say about this game. It just felt like a goddamn chore the whole way through. After I finished the game and the credits started rolling, I just felt bad for myself for even buying this game. And with that, I'm rating this a 3 out of 10. Don't waste your money on this garbage.
What a piece of shit. But that didn't stop me from buying this game. Twice.
So one day, me and Kevin DeBevan and T-Dash went to Waltham to go to an arcade/game center called Game Underground. We played a bunch of rhythm games, but that's besides the point. After we were about to go home, we decided to pick up a few games. As you can see here, T-Dash had the greatest, just the greatest taste in games. We also found a few games that had no box art, but it had some really funny artwork, like this one Dragon Ball game and The Suffering, which just had a drawing of Sonic from Sonic 06. So before we went home, I went in and picked up a copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the Xbox. I also picked up Halo 2 that day. And I also picked up BioShock because Kevin wanted me to. So I was supposed to review Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the Xbox, but why didn't I do that? Well, that's why. There was nothing wrong with my Xbox, it just needed a system update, but in order to do a system update, you need to have Xbox Live, and this was a pre-owned Xbox, so I know damn well I just decided to forfeit and rush order a second copy on eBay. The Xbox version I got at Game Underground costed me $5, while the PS2 version I got at eBay costed me $10. So in total, I wasted $15 on these piles of crap. Playing these games are just about as good as biting into a chocolate-coated turd. That's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.